Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with a not gaming video. Yeah, so I learned that today is the 25th anniversary of The Simpsons. So I just couldn't pass up an opportunity to make a video about this because The Simpsons is really special to me. I've been growing up with it, and I've actually been watching the show since I was 8. I still remember the very first episode of The Simpsons I watched was called Saturdays of Thunder, and that was the one where Bart Simpson competes in a soapbox derby, and then Martin Prince ends up crashing and burning in a ridiculous amount because like his car went up in flames and everything, which is like, how is this even possible? Well, it's a cartoon. Yep, that's my very first memory of The Simpsons. That moment right there. Yeah, and it definitely describes the show in a way, with just how ridiculous and over the top it is sometimes. And moving on to my favorite episode of all time, it's without a doubt Cape Fear. Because Sideshow Bob is definitely one of my favorite characters in The Simpsons, because, like, compared to the rest of the tone of the show, he really can just change the mood of an entire episode, just because I just seem to gravitate towards villains that are just like pure evil, but still very poetic and sometimes funny at the same time, and that's definitely what Sideshow Bob is. And yeah, I can't talk about this episode without talking about the infamous Rake joke, because, if you've seen it before, you'll know how funny it is, and even though it's being referenced in future episodes multiple times, it still never gets old to me. It's just the most random thing. I kind of wonder, actually, how they got the inspiration to do that. What I also find interesting with the Rake joke is that both The Simpsons and Family Guy are guilty of this, and that's for dragging on jokes for way too long. But I don't know, something with the Rakes, it just never gets old no matter how long it goes on for. I think it's just the noise that Sideshow Bob makes each and every time he gets hit in the face with the rake. And yeah, going back to how Sideshow Bob can really change the mood of an episode, there was definitely a good balance between him being a legitimate threat and him just being funny in Cape Fear. Like, for example, there's that moment where Sideshow Bob does successfully follow the Simpsons family, and he gets out from underneath the car, and Bart sees him, and Sideshow Bob's like, oh, surely there's no harm in lying in the middle of a busy street, and then he gets trampled by a ton of elephants in a parade. And then, of course, in complete contrast, there's all that build-up near the beginning of the episode with Sideshow Bob sending all of those threats to Bart. And going back to the funny bits for a second, I just gotta mention when the Simpsons were being renamed to the Thompsons, and Homer just would not respond to his new last name, no matter what those two guys would do. He was just like drawing a blank each and every time. It's just one of those moments where he's just so stupid, it's hilarious. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, so feel free to leave your comments in the comment section below about what your best Simpsons memories were, or your earliest ones, or your favorite episodes, anything related to this show, or even your favorite character. I didn't really talk about that, but I don't know. I've never really decided for sure who my favorite character is. I guess out of the Simpson family, I would say it's Homer. I can't really go wrong with him. He always delivers the funniest moments in the show, with Bart being a close second, and then you could just put secondary characters into their own entire category, and Sideshow Bob would probably top that list. But yeah, I hope The Simpsons still lasts for quite a bit longer. I know the general consensus is that the newer episodes aren't really quite as good as the old episodes, and I would agree to an extent, although I'd still say some of my all-time favorite episodes are the newer ones, but it's just not as consistent, I guess, as the first maybe 8 seasons or so. But yeah, have a great day, guys.